Hello, I'm Lisa Patterson. I'm a 48-year-old student at Highland Community College, and I am working for my prerequisites so that I can get into Baker and work for an RN, BSN in nursing. I'm married. I have 4 children. They range from ages 11 to 25. My 25-year-old is my best friend, kind of. She's my study pal. We take classes together. I have been in school now since 2006. I started late in life. I had children late in life, so my career goals were kind of put on the back burner. After that, when I wanted to do it, I ended up having children, or more children, so I had to kind of wait until they were old enough for Dad to deal with. Diapers and things just wasn't his thing. I've done various jobs. I've managed restaurants, and I've managed deli departments. I managed a restaurant on Wanamaker called Shoney's for 4 years. Was tired of working there at 70 to 80 hours a week when my oldest two were just like 2 and 5. I felt like an aunt opposed to a mom. My mom had them an awful lot because of my hours. I gave that job up to work in the insurance company called Corporate Plan Management. It's out there on Wanamaker Drive. I worked there for 12.5 years, and that's really what got me started into the medical field. I started out there actually working 40 hours a week with a big pay cut in the mailroom. And then I became a claims processor. And from doing that, I had to learn to read benefits as far as their payments, co-pays, co-insurance, what we would cover, what wouldn't be covered, and that's what really got me into the medical field. It was a small third-party administrator. In other words, like say you had a company, say like, I don't know, Fally's. They had 40 employees and they wanted to have insurance for them, but they didn't want to pay the outrageous premiums that Blue Cross Blue Shield would pay. Well, these were self-funded plans, so what they did is they would pay the first like $10,000 of medical bills per year per employee out of their own company pocket, and then after that amount was reached, then another payer would come in and pay for the rest of the year. These plans were pretty versatile as far as getting things covered. They were black and white on paper, but at times if I felt that the employee needed to have this covered, all I would do is call their HR directors and tell them what I thought needed to be done, and they would go ahead and pay for it. What really got me was erectile dysfunction for men. They paid for Viagra and Cialis and everything like that for men, but if it came to the fact that that wasn't working, they would go ahead and pay for a penile implant for men, which I thought was kind of, well, okay, why would you do that? And it wasn't medically necessary as far as I thought for that to go on, but then they played it off a man's point of view and said it was mentally necessary. If a man couldn't perform, then of course, oh Lord be, he might go crazy or something. But at the same time, if a woman had breast cancer and was going through chemotherapy and lost all of her hair, they weren't going to pay for a wig for a woman. They weren't going to pay for a prosthesis for a woman. It wasn't medically necessary. So I started to go to bat for him, and I would say, look, it's okay for a man to have a penile implant because it's very important for him to have an erection. But for a woman to walk around with no hair, no breast, and you're not going to help her out, and that's not medically necessary, and then that's where I push their mentally necessary for them, for their physical health, to get them to want to improve their physical health and for their mental state of mind. I would get that passed a lot. I would get a lot of employers to pay for that. I would, get them to pay for other things, like at one time I had a young boy who had a larger breast on one side than the other. He was 15 years old, and several plastic surgeons and everything said it would just get bigger, and it would probably, he would have to have it removed, and he felt very awkward, refused to dress in gym, didn't do anything sport-wise, didn't do anything during the summer because of it. So I called the employer and I told him who the child was, who the employee was. I told him what I thought was going on, what needed to be done, and sure enough, that young man got a breast reduction on that one breast because of what I had done. But what I brought to show this is kind of like an explanation of benefits. This is one of mine. It kind of shows you, and we all get these in the mail and we're like, what the hell? What am I supposed to be paying? Normally you just think of your balance is, this is what you pay. But that's kind of, really tied into my insurance part. But like I said, I did do that for 12 and a half, almost 13 years. And that's what really got me into medical. I wanted to go on the other side. I wanted to see what the other side was doing. I wanted to, be a part of that, opposed to doing medical reviews and getting people's bills paid and requesting information on how an accident happened. And that's what put me to where I am today. So that was my past. For my past, I have brought my daughter Marissa. She just got out of the shower, so she doesn't you can say hi?
Hi.
So this is Marissa. She's 12. She's a big 12, I know. She's one of my wrestlers. We were just in a meet today at Salina. She didn't do very good, but she held her own. She did pretty good. We have another one tomorrow, so wrestling is a big thing in our family. So, but this is Marissa. She's one of the reasons why I kind of put the education back a little bit, just because I need to be home with them. And like I said, Dad and diapers just didn't mix. So I just want to show you one of my children. My other one's in there trying to fall asleep. The other two are at their home. So, but she's our sweet pea, is what we call her. And she's pretty good. I'm pretty proud of her. She's a good student. She's good in sports, and she's even a cheerleader. Was a little upset when she got her first boyfriend, but all worked out well. But she's doing fine. And this is Marissa, and this is my present. This is who I want to see. Mom's 48 years old. Mom's still going to school. She doesn't like it. She's home with Dad, 3 nights a week, and then when I'm in front of the computer, she's like, crap, here we go again, But we try to do things together. I try to make her laugh. I try to dance with her in the car. I'm one of those moms that will dance in the car and make her all embarrassed and want to crawl underneath the seat, but it doesn't go, she can't go very far because there's not a lot of room underneath my seat. So she's a pretty good kid, but I do try to stress to him that education's good. Keep the grades up now, and until you get out of high school, don't take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 months off. Don't take a year off between high school and college. Jump right into it. Get it done. Depending on what her field is, she can be done with school in 4 years. If she wants to be a teacher, she's a teacher. If she wants to be a lawyer, of course, there's a lot more to it than 4 years. But there's always an opportunity to move forward, and that's what I want them to see. Even with our busy schedule, like I said, wrestling this whole weekend, Salina today, Shawnee Heights tomorrow, and then I have school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. She has cheerleading. That leaves me Friday and Saturday to get my homework done. So I'm kind of, I just want her to see that it can still be done. I still get really gripey. Mom still gets kind of bitchy. And that's just how things go. My other child is awake. Jake, would you please come here? Okay. This is Jake. He's my 11-year-old.
Hi.
And he is my wrestler, his 3rd year wrestling. He took first today in his league, so he did really good. But these are my 2 wrestlers. Jake's been doing it for 3 years, and Marissa kind of talked about it for 2 years. And we kind of like, oh, whatever. But this year we put her in it, and she's doing okay. But that's what my present is. This is my present. I want them to see that you can go forward. My future is this, a stethoscope. And that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to be a nurse. I'm going to need one of these every day. Again, I'm not quite sure what field I'm going to go into. I'm not quite sure, if it's going to be geriatrics, oncology. I don't know if I want to be an internal med, family practice, OBGYN, but I want to be somewhere. I want to be somewhere where I can help and I can make a difference. I want to be somewhere where I can continue to learn, because no matter, once you're a nurse and you're in this field, you don't stop learning. You have to learn. You have to keep updated on medications and treatments, and you learn from your patients intellectually and emotionally, and that's what I want to be. I want to be a great nurse. I want my kids to see that, dang, Mom's going to be 50-something when she gets done with school, but Mom did it, so why can't I get it done when I'm 25? And there's no reason why they can't. There's no reason in the world why you can't go on with your education. Like I said, it's stressful at times, but being a nurse and being an RN is something that I really, really look forward to doing. And I do not have any plans at retiring at the age of 65 or even 69. You know, even if I go into private practice with a physician, I plan on working, like I've said in one of my papers, until the good Lord tells me otherwise, or they tell me, Lisa, you just can't handle the needle anymore. So that's what I'm going to do. That is my future. So I have a past that's led me to the health field. I have children who I'm wanting to be a good, set a good impression for. I want to be not a role model, I'm their mom, but I want them to look up to me and be proud of me. And for my future, it's still open, it's still ahead of me, but being a nurse and being in the medical field is what I very much intend on doing. I hope I haven't taken much of your time, and thank you.
Bye-bye.